This is the MGP250, a high capacity stand-on scale, ideally suited for GP surgeries. A very simple to use dry cell battery indicator which has the following functions: on-off button, tear function, a BMI and a hold function. To enable the hold function, simply press the on button. The indicator goes through a setup process and then will show you a zero reading. Once you have the zero reading, press the BMI stroke hold button once. The patient can then stand on the scale. The indicator will find the patient's weight and hold it there for you, enabling the patient to then stand back off the scale, giving your end user time to make a note of the patient's weight. To disable the hold function, press the hold stroke BMI button again once. It goes back down to its normal weighing mode, ready for your next patient. To enable the BMI function, press the BMI stroke hold button and keep your finger depressed until it goes through the hold function to the BMI segment. Once it's done that, use the far left button or the far right button to increase and decrease the patient's height accordingly. Once you have the patient's height incorrectly put onto the indicator, the patient can then stand on the scale. Once the patient stood on the scale, press the BMI stroke hold button again. It will then show you the patient's weight and the patient's BMI calculation, and it will alternate through from weight to BMI. The patient can then stand off the scale, leaving you free to disable the function, and goes back to a zero reading, ready for your next patient. If when you turn the scale on you get a reading other than zero, press the middle button, which is the on stroke zero button, and this will re-zero the scale, enabling you to weigh your patient. Once again, this is the MGP250, a high capacity stand-on scale, primarily and ideally suited for GP surgeries.